guys. You know what you're looking at? You're looking at my tool board and my tool chest. And guess what? There's not a thing on that board that I couldn't kill somebody with. You know, especially if they wasn't trying to stop me. You know, hammers and saws and chisels and knives and all sorts of junk, right? But we don't consider this stuff a weapon. We consider them all to be tools. And therefore, that leads us to our talk for today. This is Dave with the Shepherd School, and what we're going to discuss is the difference between guns and weapons and firearms and tools, right? And I'm making this video because I have a lot of problems with instructor candidates in some of my NRA instructor classes. And this isn't an NRA video, and I don't represent the NRA, let me just tell you that up front. But one of the policies of the NRA basic classes is you cannot use the word weapon in the class, you know, as an instructor. That a firearm is a tool, and you're teaching the use of that tool. You don't shoot silhouette humanoid targets. You shoot bullseye targets or blank sheets, because we're not teaching people in a basic class how to use their gun for defensive or offensive purposes, simply how to safely manipulate the gun and the firearm fundamentals. And so in an instructor class we do these teach packs, and the candidates get up and they teach different portions of the class so that they get practice, and so we can evaluate them to make sure that they're actually qualified. You know, and every class, over and over and over, guys, they'll get up there and they'll say, you know, this is how you unload a semi-automatic weapon, or, you know, or when you draw your weapon, or, you know, and they can't seem to get it in their mind that a weapon is a subset of tools, right? You've got this big circle that is all tools. You know, tools being, you know, some sort of device used to help you solve a problem, help you do something, right? Screwdrivers help you screw in screws, right? Or open paint cans, or, you know, jab somebody in the face. You know, you use a screwdriver for a purpose that makes it a tool. However, it becomes a weapon when you use it against, you know, a person, or against a, you know, a living being. If I, you know, a dog's attacking me and I kick it, then my shoe is part of a weapon. You know, if somebody breaks in my house and I shoot them, then the gun is a weapon, right? Same way with screwdrivers. Stab somebody in the eye socket, that screwdriver is still a tool, but now it is a weapon, okay? And weapon is a smaller circle within that larger circle of tools. And to me, it's really hard for me to understand. Well, it's not really hard for me to understand because I used to be that way myself. You know, you go in the military, and if you've ever watched Full Metal Jacket, you know, they're running around the squad bay. This is a rifle, this is a gun, this is for shooting, this is for fun. And they're trained, they're taught. It's part of the institutional mindset that, you know, the gun helps make them a more effective killer, right? And they're not tools, they're weapons, right? They're there for a stated purpose, and that stated purpose is to kill. And, you know, it's pretty effective training, you know, and it's, I've been out, you know, near on, you know, 15 years, right? And every day I still think of things in the Marine Corps, you know, even though I'm definitely, you know, not a lean, mean fighting machine anymore. But you get out, and they don't really get rid of that mindset anymore. And guns are tools, okay? Serve, you know, guns are tools. They serve purpose. You know, you use it to put holes in a piece of paper to show that you have discipline over your body, mental discipline, that you're able to apply the shooting fundamentals and make real small holes in targets because you're extremely precise and extremely consistent, and you have the discipline to practice, all of which are good things, right? Shooting isn't the only way to get those things, the only way to show those things, but it is a very effective way of showing that you have emotional, mental, physical discipline, right? If you use a gun in that manner, then it's a tool. If you are using it to defend somebody, you know, against harm or yourself against harm, then that tool then becomes a subset, and then it becomes a weapon. Same way with a t-ball bat. If I carry a t-ball bat to take my boy to t-ball practice, or t-ball game, then it's a tool. It's a toy. It's a sporting utensil, right? But if I get the boy out the car and I'm taking him over there, and some drunk guy's peeing in the grass at the Little League field, and I'm like, hey dude, y'all need to put that little thing up. And he comes over and he pulls out a beer bottle, breaks it up, tries to cut me, and I whack him in the head, right? Then that t-ball bat then becomes a weapon. It becomes a defensive weapon, which is a smaller subset in that circle. You've got offensive weapons and you've got defensive weapons. I just wish more people not understood, because it's pretty simple, but thought about the difference in something's use makes it a tool. Something's use makes something a weapon. Guns by themselves are not weapons, right? Guns by themselves are not dangerous. They're not deadly. They don't kill people. All these tools behind me, take my sawzall, cut up a dead body, well then that's a criminal implement, right? I'm using it outside of its stated purpose. Now guns are different because, their stated purpose is to put holes in things, right? And so people sometimes get confused. But anyway, like I said, if you're using a gun as a tool, using it as a implement of enjoyment, you're going out shooting a trap because you like shooting trap, then it's not a weapon. If you're using it to defend yourself against a person or a wild beast, or then it's a weapon. So I don't know. It's just my 2 cents. It's something that's on my mind, and something that I constantly have to explain. And it kind of gets to the point where some of my crusty old students that are retired, full bird colonels, and they got all these super secret stuff, and the government has purged Google of their pictures because they're super secret guy, whatever, and all they want to do is talk about weapons. They don't get it, and then it's kind of hard for me to teach the class. And I'm not making fun of anybody by any stretch of the means, but if the students understood that before they came to the class, we could spend more time in actually teaching the class and less about, well, hold on, you said firearm 17 times, right? So anyway, till next time, you can let us get some on www.tandgun.com.